Senator Durbin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ambassador Parr, good to see you. And congratulations on your new position. You are the right person for the job. You've been asked a lot of questions about immigration policy. I know that isn't your responsibility at all. We all share concerns about it. I will just say that for those of either political party who want us to have engage in this immigration conversation, we've started it already, and I invite them to come and be part of it, a bipartisan effort to come up with something thoughtful. In terms of our immigration policy, if it were just the asylum policy, you would assume we would be overrun with Mexicans. But it turns out most of the people who are presenting themselves at the border overwhelmingly are from 3 other countries and have to travel through Mexico to get to our border. So there's something going on in those countries. Some of it is sinister, like these smugglers and coyotes, and some of it is just plain awful life and some of the reactions to it. People come to the United States in desperation. I cannot imagine taking my life savings and handing it to a smuggler along with my 4-year-old child and say, put this child at the border and carry this little plastic bag with a telephone number in it. I mean, and they're doing it. What kind of desperation do you reach to even consider that possibility? So working in those 3 countries, I think, is part of the honest answer to dealing with our southern border. Let me mention a few things. Congratulations to the administration for stopping the American withdrawal from the World Health Organization from the previous president, and also for joining and helping fund the COVAX global vaccine effort and commitment to donate 80 million COVID vaccine doses around the world. Coincidentally, we were late here because we were voting on the floor to preserve the special drawing rights. There was an effort to offer an amendment on that, and we stopped it, thank goodness. So the special drawing rights to the IMF will be available to poorer countries to fund their vaccine needs. That is a step in the right direction. I'd like to talk about several things USAID does that I think are meaningful, and they fit probably in the small ball category. I've come to the conclusion at this stage in my career that sometimes the little things are the big things when it comes to transforming lives. And there are 2 I'd like to share with you. I once worked for a man named Paul Simon. You may remember him. He served on this committee, and he was also a member of the Foreign Relations Committee. And he wrote a book called Tapped Out 25 years ago. It never made the New York Times bestseller list, but he predicted the 21st century would be a struggle for drinking water and sanitation. And I knew that Paul wouldn't have wanted a building named after him, but I named after him the Paul Simon Water for the World Act. And thanks to USAID, it has made a dramatic difference all around the world. This program, since 2008, has helped 57 million people either receive for the first time or improve their access to clean water in the world, and 38 million with sanitation services. My staffer, Chris Homan, wants to show a photograph that shows him standing in Kenya.
Chris.
That's Chris.
Ghana.
Ghana. And this is something called a Dignaloo, which basically is a sanitation facility for people in one of these poor villages, and they're pretty happy to see it. It gives them much better public health outcomes in the area. Girls, of course, are spared the embarrassments of not having any place for privacy, and it becomes part of a system, public health system. And I hope that you'll remember the Paul Simon Water for the World Act in your undertakings. The last thing I want to commend to you is another Illinois-based project. We have a great bicycle manufacturing company in Chicago named SRAM, S-R-A-M, and it created a nonprofit called World Bicycle Relief, sending bicycles primarily in Africa to developing countries and helping eliminate distance as a barrier when it comes to education, healthcare, and economic opportunity. Before I showed up and it won the attention of Senator Graham and I hope Senator Coons and Senator Leahy, they had distributed 520,000 bicycles in Africa, sturdy bicycles that made a difference. Girls started going to school. Their fathers wanted to keep the bicycles because they took goods to the market. Well, we decided that mobility was a good thing in the developing world. And because of the efforts of this committee, another 42,000 bicycles have gone to Africa. I think there's an opportunity here. And having been to Africa, as I'm sure you have, you see that bicycles are used for everything, including as ambulances in some places where we visited. So I hope that you will consider those projects, Water for the World and the World Bicycle Relief, as part of the small ball, but equally important to other greater things in expanding the United States' role in the world in a positive way.
Thank you, Senator. Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.